Mark McVeary is a mortgage banker that has owned his own business for over 20 years. As part of his job, Mark has to interact with clients both over the phone and in person to discuss mortgage details. Mark is responsible for sending clients' information along to mortgage lenders, along with continuing to follow up with his clients until the mortgage is completed. As a small business owner, Mark is responsible for managing his company and ensuring that his employees receive proper and fair payment. Overall, Mark's physical demands to perform his job are low due to the sedentary nature. However, Mark's job requires high cognitive and social skills as he needs to process information about his client's financial state, along with appropriately interacting with his clients and employees.
Mark uses proprioception to be aware that he is sitting in his chair. He also needs proper muscle tone to maintain his posture in his chair. He also uses complete joint range of motion to reach for the phone on his desk. He uses eye-hand coordination to push the buttons on his phone.
Mark maintains sustained attention as he is working. He must also be conscious to fully engage with his client. Mark uses auditory function as he listens to the client on the phone and is also processing incoming auditory information from the client while also using his visual senses to look at the paper. Mark produces speech when he is talking to his client over the phone and uses divided attention as he's talking to the client and working with the numbers for her potential mortgage.
Mark uses visual function to see the papers on his desk. Mark uses bilateral coordination to stabilize the calculator with one hand while using his other hand to type in the numbers. He also attends to the calculator while entering in the numbers. Mark replies to his client when it is his turn to speak in the conversation and appropriately questions his client about the details of her home for the mortgage.
Mark appropriately terminates the conversation with the client and hangs up his phone. Mark reaches and bends his trunk forward to grab the pencil on his desk. He effectively grips the pen in his hand while writing on the paper. He is also able to distinguish that his papers are separate from his desk.
Mark understands how far to reach for his laptop. Mark handles the laptop to ensure that it does not fall. He also understands where to place different items on his desk, such as his papers and the laptop. Mark is able to gather his computer, papers, and the calculator all into his desk in one area.
Mark is able to navigate around his office without bumping into obstacles. Mark uses vestibular function to balance himself while walking so he does not fall over. Mark is able to walk from the copy room to his employee's office. Mark carries the papers from the copy room and transports them. Mark turns towards his employee when he is speaking to her.
Due to frequent typing, the tendons of Mark's wrists are under high stress, which could result in carpal tunnel syndrome. Due to his high job being mostly sedentary, Mark's muscle tone could be compromised, affecting his posture and leading to potential back injury. Mark is required to look at computer screens throughout most of the day, which could lead to eye strain. Mark could experience reduced blood flow and potential fatigue to his muscles as he does not have the opportunity to move frequently throughout the day.
Two examples of create and promote include providing Mark with an educational course that discusses ways to promote movement throughout the day to increase blood flow and support his posture, and also providing Mark with a journal for him to record the different times throughout the day that he exercises to keep him accountable for movement. Two examples of establish and restore include developing a schedule that encourages Mark to take breaks from typing to reduce the possibility of carpal tunnel syndrome, and also having Mark put a sticky note on the corner of his laptop to remind him to monitor and correct his posture.
Two examples of modify include having Mark print out the emails he needs to read so he can take a break from reading from the computer screen to prevent further eye strain. Also, modifying the environment by adding cushioning to the bottom of his chair for additional back support. Two examples of prevent include placing a standing desk in another room of his office so he has the opportunity to work while standing and increase blood flow. Also enabling the microphone on his laptop to produce speech-to-text function to reduce the amount of typing and further issues that could result.